and welcome to all you miniature painting enthusiasts on the internet. I'm Doc Eon, as always, here to ramble on a Monday. This one, Monday the 17th of August, 2020. Let's start out with some scenery, or terrain, or whatever you want to call it, for a change. So I painted up both of these kits that I bought. One being this little boat, with all the stowed equipment and the furled sails, and the other is this farmhouse, which comes in. So this is the main farmhouse, and it has a little shed goes with it, pigs or whatever, and a lot of sections of fencing, which are they have a small little base here, so they stand up, and they're modular, so you can sort of build with whatever sort of fence you want with them. Now, this was relatively quick and easy to paint. The only difficult part was finding a way to mount them or hold them so I could get at everything and not get a ton of paint on my fingers. Actually, I have to admit I failed that one. I did get a lot of paint on my fingers when painting these. So yeah, but it was done at least. And someone asked about scale. Now, the house is supposed to be 156 scale and the boat 172, so the boat is smaller. Now, if we take a typical Reaper Bones model, a modern like 28mm heroic scale miniature, and you can see he's way too big for this boat. This is like a dinghy, a rowboat for him. Yeah, doesn't quite work. So 172 is really too small if you want it to be in scale with your typical 28mm figures. Now for the house, this is a lot better. It still looks like he's gonna have to duck to get in this door, but you know, old houses were sometimes built with these like that, so this might be realistic. But still, it's yeah. Perhaps you could go up even higher. Perhaps you could go with 148 scale model kits if you wanted to have something actually in scale with the miniatures like these. That's a possibility. I'm not sure. Maybe next time I buy a model kit, I'll try something in an even bigger scale, just for comparison. But anyway, I did paint a few actual minis as well. Let's look at them. And here's a selection of Reaper Bones from the Dreadmere expansion. 3 characters and a monster. And they're not terribly well painted, but you know, I just need to get them done. This one still looks a bit too glossy. I'll work on that. Give it another blast of the matte varnish. But you know, could also be the bright lights. I finally just decided to, what the heck. There's a lot of detail here. I don't know what it is, but I just mashed some colors in there at a distance. It looks like there's stuff there, and it's shiny, and it's, you know, whatever. These are not important, not going to be important characters if they're in bones. So, at least I got something done this week. Let's go over to the in progress stuff, because there is stuff happening, even if there's not that much finished this week. Well, they say it's not easy being green. Here's the remainder of the Reaper bones I'm currently working on. The last of the Dreadmere set and this guy. And as you can see, they've been... I don't know how far they got last time. They were primed last time. This time I've got some basic base coats on all of them. And, well, I just need to start refining it. And, yeah. Not much else to say, really. There are no particular problems. They're fine. They're Reaper bones. What can you say? And the Dark Sword Miniatures Ladies, Stephanie Law's Kickstarter. They're in the next stage. I hadn't really done anything last time, I think. They weren't even assembled. Now they're assembled and based and primed. And I think I managed to use all the pieces. There was one small piece I left over that I didn't know what to do with. Didn't fit anywhere. It was just like a ribbon. I think it might actually belong to one of the other models, one of the Muses. So nothing seems to be... I looked at the pictures on the Dark Sword website of the finished models, and there's nothing missing on these that I can find. So some of them were a bit tricky. This one was the trickiest to assemble because these things coming off the shoulders and each arm, that's one piece, and this long staff or scepter or something is another piece. So there were three pieces that had to be glued together at the same time with the body, and balancing it all was kind of tricky. Nothing else was really hard. And some of them, I mean, this was a one piece, and this is a one piece, so no trouble at all. This one, just the hand with a rose had to be glued on. This one is an odd thing. It comes with this scenic base, and strange use of space. I mean, the model is in one corner of this square base. I don't know really why this is, but oh well. That's the way it goes together, and by next week, let's see if we can get some actual paint on these. Grrr. Here we have a big nasty dragon, almost assembled. Its name is Gauth in the Kickstarter. It's, for, like I've said, the last model from the core set of the Bones 4 Kickstarter left paint. Now, because it's in so many pieces, I'm assembling it in stages because I need to gap fill, or well, fill in the seam lines between the parts. And if I assemble it all fully first, it would be difficult to get at some of them. Like this stuff portion here would be difficult to get at if I put the wings on. So most of it's assembled now. I just glued the legs on, so I'm waiting for the glue to dry a little bit before I start using the plastic putty or this stuff, the white stone liner. So I want to decide which base to use for it. Now these are some of the... Sorry, there's a lot of noise outside. Anyway, with the Kickstarter, I got some of Reaper's new base line. They're not that new now. They've been in their store for a year or so now, but I haven't used any of them before. They have a lot of really big bases, and they have these sort of small lips. They're not like the big lipped ones. And I was considering this oval base because this is like the minimum I need. It just fits the feet. But I'm thinking going with this even bigger round one for increased stability, and also because it will give me space to, you know, add more texture and more interesting stuff to the ground. And that's something that will make it look more interesting. And then we have these ginormous wings. I could not fit this in a shot. I don't know which way this goes. Like that? No. Anyway. Work proceeds. I'm working. Oh, I haven't filled this gap. Need to work on that. Anyway, I will have gotten a bit further on this next week. And hey presto, it is Kickstarter time again. I got the latest of the Midland Miniatures Kickstarters I backed in a box with these 2 blisters and some packing material and a little postcard showing what this is supposed to be. So this is the Cult of the Moon Goddess. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply add these to the painting queue right away. There's a lot of figures here, so this might go against the idea I've been floating that I have to slow down with my painting because I don't have as much time now that school has started. But on the other hand, these are all very similar. They're gonna, the main thing about them is the robes, and the robes are all gonna be the same, pretty much for most of them, except maybe there's like I think there's a leader, there's an abbess. Yeah, this one has a more complex set of robes. So, but otherwise, they're going to be pretty similar. I might vary the hair and skin colors to get some variety in there. But I can production line them. And now, their artwork is kind of assumes that they're going to be white robed because the moon is white. I don't know if I want to go that way. I mean, I could, I guess. I was thinking about having them in red robes for the Red Moon Goddess from Glorantha. And that would mean bronze weapons as well, but maybe white. It's white is a challenge. But it's not that tricky. I do have a basic grasp of how to paint white. I'll have to think about it. I'm not gonna. You know, I have to prep these for next week, and so I don't really have to make a decision until like next Monday about which way to go with them. So stay tuned. Anyway, that's gonna be, let's see how many of these. 1, 3, 5. Sorry, 3, 4, 7, 10, 12, 14. I think. Yeah, 14 minis. Oh, that's quite enough to add to the pile, or queue rather. So that's going to be enough. Don't need to add anything else. And that means I can bring this episode to a close. So thank you for watching all this way. If you haven't done so already, click like and subscribe and comment. And above all, join me again in a week from now. Same day of the week, same channel, same Dakian. But for now, I'm signing off.